Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategical compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the news with regard to George Palikaras and his removal as a CEO from Meta Materials. We're also going to be looking at a new letter to FINRA from one of the Congress members, and this is certainly very, very positive. And we're also going to be doing a quick review of the weekly watch list. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Yahoo Finance. In terms of the market today, we can see that stocks are seesawing after hot retail sales. And this is also a big week for earnings, and I think once we see some positive news with regard to earnings, hopefully we get better news for the overall market. So in other news, I'm going to share with you here with regard to a news article just shared earlier today in terms of naked short selling, and my post about that was stating with regard to this article, we are getting closer to the end of naked short selling and finally a chance of implementing Rule 204, which requires firms that clear and settle trades to deliver securities to a registered clearing agency for a clearance and settlement on a long or a short. And in the article that we're going to look at now, there are 15 companies that have been stated that could be poised for a short squeeze once we get implementation of that rule, and those are identified there in the tweet, and they also include stocks such as Tesla and SoFi, as well as Sava and many others. So let's have a look at the news. So this was shared today, and we can see a headline from Yahoo Finance: is this the end of naked short selling? So we know that American investors have struggled with many of the penny stocks and many of the stocks with regard to naked short selling, which I think the vast majority of retail investors will consider this as illegal and something that would not happen in any other sector of business, but it seems to be tolerated in the financial markets and certainly should not be. So if we have a continue with the article, we can see here that naked short selling is basically a financial weapon of mass destruction, and it's destroying tech firms, emerging bio firms, and it certainly needs to stop. So although it's a great, the argument against naked short selling is that it's generally in a grey area. So there are arguments here to say it's in itself it isn't illegal. In order to legally sell a stock, short traders must first secure or borrow against the shares they intend to sell. Where the September 29th ruling comes into play, it's at the point of the broker-dealer. Any broker who enters the stock or short on behalf of a trader must have assurances that his client will make a settlement. So there are potential changes coming into the market. So let's have a look at the rule here, and we can see the rule with regard to Rule 204. We can see this is targeted particularly at persistent failures to deliver potentially abusive naked short selling practices, and we are now looking for implementation of Rule 204 that requires firms to clear and settle trades to deliver securities to register clearing agency, and that's again something that I summarized in the tweet. So hopefully overall good news. Final information I'm going to share with you in terms of market news is with regard to Tesla, and we can see here from stock market news, BMW have just signed an agreement with Tesla to adopt its North American charging standard starting early in 2025. So good news for BMW and Tesla there. Let's now have a look at the news with regard to Mr. George Palikaras, and what I posted yesterday was that George Palikaras has been removed as the CEO from Meta Materials. So this was shared in an 8K filing which was released, and we can see here the title: Departure of Directors or Certain Officers. So let's try and get some reasons why this may have potentially happened. So this is item 502, and we can see here that the company have removed George Palikaras as President and CEO of the company effective immediately. They've appointed a new CEO going by the name of Jim Fasaro, and the board have also increased the size of the board to 9 members, and that was effective from October the 10th, 2023. So let's try and look at reasons why this may have happened. So the person now taking the helm by the name of Jim, and what the company are saying is he has successfully restored growth and profitability, increased revenue by approximately 300%, and 8x the growth of EBITDA, and more than double the market share from 2018 to 2020. So this is one of the track records of Jim that they're looking at and hoping, it looks like, that he will implement something similar for metamaterials, and obviously if that proves true, I'm sure many on board will welcome this. So let's have a look at his package. So he's going to receive an annual initial base salary of $500,000, and he's also going to be eligible to receive an annual bonus with the target of 100% of his base salary. So there are incentives there for him in place, but now let's have a look at some reactions to what has happened. Let's now get a reaction from Smokey and what he stated here in terms of questions. Was it a hostile takeover? Was it a response to the Wells notice? Are you going to continue on with the company in any capacity? Is Nadine still there? How do Tom and Anna feel about this? Was this your plan the whole time? What now? Please talk to us, Mr. George Palikaras. But so far as I'm aware, no comments, no reactions, no statements from George Palikaras. And KJ Forever has responded to say, well, maybe the reason was the Kraken. So a little bit of a humour there from KJ Forever. And another reaction from Meta News has stated a lot of people invested in metamaterials because of George himself. George and Mr. Thomas Kalos are the ones who created the company in 2011 and went through this long journey of accomplishments with regard to partnerships, getting onto the NASDAQ, acquisitions, and much, much more. So what 100 has stated here is now we're looking at possibly no more possible interference in a future audit investigation taking place. So may give the company more freedom from investigations. George's baby gets stronger. No shareholder will ever forget that. So respect there for George. Let's now have a look at the breaking news with regard to the new letter just been sent to FINRA. So shout out here to Jen, who posted Senator fighting for MMTLP yet again. And this time the letter has been sent to Mr. Robert Cook. This was an incredible letter. We're going to have a look at that shortly. So if you do remember, Mr. Senator Crapo also sent a letter to Gary Gensler, and now he's followed it up by writing to Robert Cook. And obviously there are requests here for information, including delivery of an audited and consolidated share account, a timeline for resolution. And so let's now have a look at the letter. So we can see here the key highlighted sections are, this is dated October the 16th, 2023. Directly addressed to Mr. Robert Cook, the FINRA President and CEO. So Mr. Mike Crapo is basically saying in this letter, he's requesting that FINRA offer further information on events surrounding the trading halt of MMTLP. So the SEC, he's acknowledging here, approved the S1 and the amendments to the spin-off. So again, that certainly indicates that all seem to be well, then obviously why the U3 halt. He's gone on to say that investors have struggled to gain clarity. I certainly agree with that. With regard to the spin-off, and also I think more importantly, the trading halt. They've also alleged wrongdoing, including the existence of counterfeit short sales. And Mr. Mike Crapo is asking that FINRA confirm they are still looking into the trading halt for potential wrongdoing. So we know there is a fire that is suggesting wrongdoing. There is a fire suggesting there is fraud, and there is also a fire suggesting they were blue sheeting. So I think what FINRA needs to do is get some testimony from Sam Draddy on this and get back to Mike Crapo regarding that. So he's also asking FINRA to provide the responses to the following 4 requests. Number 1, provide a concise briefing to Congress offices engaged on the matter surrounding the trading halt. Number 2, confirm whether the trading halt fell within FINRA's jurisdiction. And I think that is basically a suggestion in terms of, well, the SEC approved the S1, why are you halting it? it? And were you following established industry standards? Number 3, we're looking at a detailed course of action for investors, holdings, and more importantly, he's also looking for a timeline for resolution. So again, that's an important question. And finally, number 4, possibly the most important question here, deliver an audited and consolidated account of shares held by the investing public related to MMTLP on December the 9th, 2022, signed by Senator Mike Crapo. So kudos and respect to Senator Mike Crapo. And finally, I want to finish off by giving a quick shout out to our weekly watch list. So these are some of the stocks that we called out last week. So these included ticker symbol PRZO. That was up 55% on the Friday, also up 50% on the previous week. So congratulations to everybody who got in on PRZO, which had positive news in terms of their drones. And we also called out IMNM. That was up 13.7% on the week. VCNX was another good call, up 17% from Monday's dip with 3 opportunities to get 15% plus returns. PXD was another call, up 3% on the week. IMVT, that was up 5.7% on the week. RBLX, that was up 2.9% on the week. COUR, that was up 2% on the week. MGAM, quite a volatile stock, 3 chances to get returns of 14% plus. Sell off on Thursday, and then overall closed down 19.7% on the week. So not all calls are overall successful, so always a good idea to protect profits and trade with care. And if you would like to get a copy of our daily stock alerts as well as our weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.